Hey everyone, I'm Scott Stokely and I'm here in Sighisoara, Romania. If you go to my adventure page, you can read all about why we're here. But this is the first of 4 videos I'm going to make about recapping the 8 events that I went to. Didn't get to play them all, but went to on the PDGA 2023 Euro Tour. But before I begin, I will start by saying I am currently 5th place in points. I had a podium finish, a couple 5th places, a hot round, a course record that lasted a little while, and I'm doing it injury-free. Oh, and by the way, I also teach disc golf, and there's 3 ways where you can learn to disc golf correctly, to play better and not get hurt. The first is I have a couple of upcoming 2-day training retreats in Scotland. Message me for details. These are coming up quickly. Those are going to be gone possibly by the time you see the video. It'll be sold out. I'm going to be doing some either 5 or 7-day training retreats in Asia and in the future as well. So this video is never dated. Just message me and I'll let you know what's coming up. And of course I have my online Become a Complete Disc Golfer class. Message me for details. All right. So, yeah, I was so excited to be able to come play the Euro Tour. I left Asia. I think I won my last couple tournaments in Asia. Went over to the UK, played 3 tournaments in England, 1 in Scotland, and I won all of those and was really feeling good about my game. And the first event of the PDGA 2023 Euro Tour was in Croatia. It was the Pro Forster Open. And it doesn't matter how well I play. I'm 53 years old, and I am probably always going to start the season with some doubts. And the people that follow me might be surprised to hear that I actually lack confidence at times. But, I'm human. And, one of these years I'm going to show up and the game will have completely passed me by. So that's always the fear to start the season. And I get out to the course in Croatia the first day. I joined up with a couple players from Austria. One of them was, I'm drawing a blank on the name. Leon, thank you. Oh my God. I got to play with Leon and I forgot the other player's name. And I get to the first hole. I'm going to tee off hole 1, having doubts. Can I compete with these kids? And I happen to jump on a card with a kid that throws 180 meters. That's like 600 feet off a tee pad with a golf shot. And immediately I was like, oh my God, what am I doing out here with these kids? They're going to kill me. This is going to be embarrassing. Everywhere I look, everyone's throwing a mile. They all got sidearms. Their putts are so smooth and they're so aggressive and fearless. And that's kind of how I start every season, or at least the last couple. But that's not what happened. So first off, the course is Pro Forster, unbelievably hard and extremely technical. There were basically 4 courses out in the Open, which they made really hard with distance on a few of them and just out of bounds, right? So your traditional ball golf, USDGC type of situation, scary out of bounds if you try to throw far. But the other 14 holes were in thick woods. And to the tournament director's credit, which I'm really happy about, is that he did not make a bunch of artificial out of bounds. And let me be clear, I love artificial out of bounds. You can take a hole that is boring, not challenging, with no variance in scores, and turn it into a great hole by just putting in a lake or a sand trap. Or if you don't have the budget, put stakes in the ground and we get to use our imagination. But it's the exact same hole had the tournament director put in a lake. That's why I don't mind artificial out of bounds. But you don't need artificial out of bounds every single time you have thick stuff. There's a penalty for going out of bounds, going off the fairway at the Pro Forster, and that is you got no shot to get to the hole. So you have to pitch back out to the fairway. And if you throw a really bad shot, it's not just an OB stroke, it's 2 OB strokes. I mean, it's not OB, but it's 2-stroke penalty because it might take you 2 shots to get out. So I could not be happier with the way that course was, but it's hard. And I played a practice round, and after the practice round, I said, my goal is to have 2 bogeys around. Now, I want to explain what I mean by that, because why would I plan on having two bogeys? Well, the reason I plan on having two bogeys is you have to have a certain level of aggressiveness when you play. You can play very conservative or super aggressive. When you're playing super aggressive, you're going to have a bunch of out of bounds, but you may have a smoking hot round. Or you can play conservative and say, I'm going to play for no bogeys. And then you wind up with no bogeys, but you don't get the birdies you need. So based on the risk reward of the course, you can almost go into it saying a 2 bogey round means I played aggressive enough to get the birdies, but not so aggressive that I dug a hole for myself. So my estimate was 2 bogeys a round, which is actually fairly aggressive. And I played the first round and I didn't have any bogeys. And it was like a 10:30 or no, it's like a 10:40 something round to start. And I was like, damn, that's pretty good. I think I got onto the lead card. No, second card. I got into the second card, the chase card, and now I'm on coverage. And then the second round, I got hot in the middle of the round. Next thing I know, there's cameras following me around. And I had no bogeys the second round. And I'm like, what the hell's happening? This is my first 2 rounds of the Euro Tour. Nobody in the field is bogey free at this point, because how could you be? This course has danger on all 18 holes. Well, on 17 of the 18 holes. Hole 4 is a bit soft. That's the only hole you could change. Hole 4 was soft. But yeah, so then I was like, what the hell? Next thing you know, I make it onto the lead card at my first, and it's considered a DGPT event, and I'm on the lead card. What the hell's happening? I'm playing with Paul McBeth and Jakob Simrad and Luke Bain from Australia, who had a great summer. And now I'm on coverage. So I'm on the Euro Tour. I'm on coverage. My first 2 rounds were 5 under and 6 under. And then on the third round, I got my first bogey on hole 2. Then I bogeyed on hole 3. So I got my first 2 bogeys on hole 2 and 3. Next thing you know, I'm like over par after 3 holes. And then a couple holes later, I rattled off 6 birdies in a row. Ended up 7 under, like a 10:50 something round or something like that, on coverage, to take a podium finish 3rd place. And that's my first podium finish at a DGPT event of any kind. And I was extremely proud, but I also found out I qualified for the European Open. I qualified for USDGC, and I got to stand there next to Jakob Simrad and Paul McBeth for these are the guys who finished on the podium photo. Extremely, to say I'm very proud of that is that I'm very proud. And actually, what's funny was I was tied with Jakob with 3 holes to go for 2nd place. Paul kind of ran away with it. But it did cross my mind, if Paul McBeth hadn't decided to just do the Euro Tour this year, I'm literally tied for 1st place at a Euro Tour event with 3 holes to go with one of the 3 or 4 top European disc golfers. And these are all friends of mine. I like everybody, but I was like, damn, I'm playing some good golf. I averaged 1040 something for the tournament. Wow, pretty darn cool. By the way, donated the money to Ukraine Disc Golf they rebuilt built a course. I don't know what happened to their old one. I don't follow the news, but apparently they needed a course, and I donated my money, and they built a course. So yeah, that was Pro Forester. So then we go to Konopiste, and I'm feeling extremely confident about my game. And the course there was a little bit tougher for me. It's a great course. It's this beautiful setting on top of this hill. This is in the Czech Republic, just like an hour south of Prague. And we're on top of the hill, and the course is really long. And it definitely favored players who throw farther than me. Now, that is not the course designer's fault, okay? Like, for years, people complained about long holes, and I'm like, well, then throw farther. It's not my fault that you don't throw as far as me. Well, I am not a hypocrite. The fact that I can't throw as far as backhand as half the kids out there, I still throw sidearm farther than all of them. I'm looking at you, Rasmus. We're gonna battle next year, but no, I half the kids out there, or at least 40% of them, throw farther backhands than me. I was at a disadvantage because this course did not penalize aggressive play. Nothing wrong with that. Every course has different pros and cons to them, and at this course, there wasn't a lot of trouble off the fairways. So you step up to a long hole, it's a par 4. The further you get down the fairway, the easier your next shot is. There's no penalty for just crushing it, because even the worst that happens is you wind up somewhere where you can easily kind of pitch out and jump putt and take your par. So you know, it didn't give me the ability to like throw at a distance that everyone else was kind of forced to throw also. So I kind of knew going into it I was going to have a hard time there, and I did. I finished 26th, I think. I still shot 1,000 rated every round, so not like I'm ashamed of that. But yeah, that was you know, that was a little reality call. You know, it's like I'm playing really good, but I think I definitely need to be on courses that lend to my skill set a little more for me to be competitive. But you know, I'm still cashing. I'm still cashed. I think, did I cash at that event? I think I still cashed. You know, nothing wrong with that against some of the best players out there. So yeah, highlights outside of that was I got to spend time with Bodek and his family from the Ukraine. I got friends there now. I cannot wait to go out and visit them and disc golf out there, hopefully soon. Everyone's hoping for that. And probably the highlight of the Czech Republic is we went to a museum that had 40,000 skeletons. That's not a typo. 40,000 skeletons that they built these like rooms out of human skeletons from like the 15th century. The Bone Museum, or no, the Bone Cathedral, if you want to look it up. Bone Cathedral, Czech Republic. That was probably one of the most unique places I've ever been to. Not 4,000. Did I make that clear? 40,000 human skeletons used to build this thing. So yeah, I had a great time, and I'll make the next video will be all about my attempt to play Krokol in Norway and the Swedish Open in Borås. But so far, 2 events in, Czech Republic and Croatia, Eurotour's off to a good start. Remember, I have 2-day training retreats in Scotland coming up. I have either 5 or 7-day training retreats in Asia coming up. Also contact me, because that's not the last time I'll be doing these. I'll be doing these probably forever, these long traveling training retreats. And my online Become a Complete Disc Golfer class is available at scottstokely.net. But you can also message me for details on that as well. Other than that, I cannot wait to share about the next 2 weeks of the Euro Tour. All right, thanks everyone.